everyone, it's Karla with Karla K Art, and welcome to my art studio. I am an artist who specializes in hand-painted silk. Today I'm going to do a demonstration of how to paint a horse, specifically the horse's head, on a silk bandana. The silk that I'm using today is 12 mummy, which refers to the weight, silk charmeuse, which refers to the type. It's a crepeback satin with a beautiful sheen, and the bandana part refers to the fact that it's 21 inches square. The image that I'm putting on this silk is that actually of my horse Spook. Spook is an APHA paint horse, and in this episode I'm also giving you a short tour of the grounds outside my art studio, and you'll be able to see Spook and the two miniature horses, Bernadette and Briar, out in the field. I'm also going to put up a headshot, if you will, of my horse Spook, and it's the exact picture I used to draw this image from. I'm going to go ahead and, I don't know if you can see this very well from your angle because it's drawn really lightly, but there is a light pencil drawing of a horse, my horse Spook, that I put onto this bandana already. The silk. The pencil lines will disappear in the wash, so that's not something that you're going to see in the end. But I'm going to go ahead and proceed with the black resist that I'm using today, and I will be using clear resist as well. And I'm going to go ahead and outline the shape. And for those of you that haven't watched any of my videos, the resist is what contains the dye. It works like a fence, so it stops the dye from spreading. So this is a big component of what we use in hand-painted silk, among a lot of other tools that we use. And resist comes in all kinds of shapes and forms, if you will. Wax for a batik artist is a resist. There are water-soluble resist. There's also soy wax that you can use. And then there's different substances, chemicals that you can actually put in the silk that will stop the flow of the dye. And we'll get to those processes as well as I do these videos. Now silk, being a paint horse and having the white face, has blue eyes. So that's a little unique for horses. So I'm going to have to work really hard to make those believable to people. Now, even though Spook is a white horse, I'm still going to use some black lines to define the outer shape of him. Spook is a senior horse. He's actually 20 years old. He's getting a little bit up there in age. I'm going to switch to some clear lines now, using the clear resist to reflect the white areas in his face. And so now I have to wait for this to dry, and I'll be back in a few minutes, 10 or 15 minutes, to paint the piece in. Hey everyone, I just thought I'd take you on a brief tour of my little gallery inside of my art studio. Here are the skinny scarves and a print of Goldie from Fine Art America. The yellow tags are to identify them on Etsy, so I know which one. If you're purchasing one on Etsy, I know exactly which scarf to mail off to you. But these are all listed for sale on Etsy at this point. I do have a few pieces left to post on Etsy. Those are the wall hangings, and there's one of the tote bags that you can get from Fine Art America. And of course, here's the Kitchen Queen with a couple of square silk pieces. These are pre-mounted. They kind of have a metal edge on them, so they're meant to be just used for display. You can turn it over and see the other side. These are samples that I did for a sip and paint class that I did at a art festival, Summer Arts Jam in downtown Stanwood, Washington. But I am going to be getting some more of these. I purchased some more just to have for sale on my website and on Etsy. Here's the table with all the scarf jewelry. These are some pieces here on the left, the round circles, the colorful circles that I've made. The other pieces I purchased just to augment the scarves. They help people wear the scarves. And this down here on the floor, this is a silk boutique that I did. I actually did this, gosh, I want to say 25 years ago now. You can see how well the colors last. I need to get it hung up, but I'm going to be doing some more boutique work and posting some videos on my YouTube channel, so watch for that. Hey everyone, I'm back, and the resist has dried on this piece, so I'm ready to start painting it in. My palette is liquid dyes, and they're all in individual containers. I start with a primary color palette, just red, yellow, and blue, and then I have black, of course. White, in the case of painting on silk, is just when you leave the silk white, so you just wouldn't apply any paint if you want an area to be white. So a lot of him is going to be white, but because white horses are never actually white, they're a lot of times they're blue, and a lot of times they're gray. He's actually going to have a lot of color on them. I'm not going to just leave it the white of the silk. Go ahead and start with this darker brown around the edge right in here, and you can see how as soon as the dye hits the silk, it starts running. And I'm going to go all the way up to his eye, this line that I've made around his eye. And then I'm going to take some of this other brown, add a little bit of water to it, and put it in right next to that. And you can see how red this other brown is. Wow, it really matches his color really well. And it also has some of that yellow, of course, that I mixed in with the dark brown. Holy cow, that's the exact color of him. Okay. Now, I don't know if you can see him on the drawing on the camera, but on here I actually have some lines that I never touched with resist, and those lines are to let me know where the colors get lighter, but I didn't want to actually draw a line there. When you're working with silk, you have to work kind of fast at times because the colors will dry and create lines of their own. it's moments like this that you kind of need to pause and not get too excited about things, because this picture is turning out really good and I don't want to mess it up. So it's okay to take a pause and walk away. As an artist, some artists feel a lot of anxiety about their pieces, and that's okay, that's normal. You just have to kind of take a step back and just kind of look over what you're doing and figure out the best way to proceed. Hey, thought I'd bring you guys on a little grounds tour so you could see the outside of my art studio. That's my art studio straight in front of you, and it's still in construction, so the upper windows are covered in plastic at this point. That should be remedied this summer. That's our home. It's a log cabin. And as I pan to the right, you're gonna see the small stream, pond. In that structure out in the middle of the pond, the rock and wood structure, that's actually a fountain. And when you run that, it helps with the mosquitoes. And it looks pretty. There's our 2 miniature horses out there in the field, Bernie and Briar. And there's Spook, that's my paint horse. He's a senior guy, he's 20 years old now. And as I pan to the right, we're in Arlington, Washington, about 1 hour north of Seattle. You're going to see it's Spook. There's an old growth stump. This place was logged way back when, with actually a fir tree growing out of the top of it. Really big tree. Coming down around. And then as I pan to the right again, you're going to pass one of the totem poles in disrepair, and back to the studio again. Thanks for joining my tour. Welcome back. Here I am painting in the white parts of Spook's face. I'm trying to accurately capture the colors in his nose and the blues and the grays that you can see in his fur. I'm going to put an inset photo of Spook's face here so you can see how the light plays across the brown areas of his fur, making it look quite red actually in his face. I'm going to put another inset picture of Spook on the screen so you can see how his fur looks in different lights. This picture shows how his face really has a lot of red tone to it as well. I'm going to place another inset picture here so that you can see the original picture I'm going off of for this drawing, so you can see how I'm matching the neck to the photo. It's darkest on the bottom and it's lightest up on the very top, probably because when he gets rained on, the rain lands up there and cleans it up. My studio is in Washington. I'll take you guys out a few times when we get a lot of rain here, so. Now some of the brown from the side of his body got in there, and that is okay. Remember, things dry so much lighter. Let's go down here and see what I got. Oh, that's pretty good. So I'm going to do a couple of strands of mane at a time, and then just kind of work my way up pretty close. And I'm going up because as the mane folds over itself, as the different strands fall over itself, it creates shadows. Now, these colors that I'm putting in the mane, I'm not even sure how well they show up on the camera, but they will dry a lot lighter than they are, which is what I want. I want them to dry almost white. He has some white spots in his eye to show.
And here I am starting the background of the painting. I'm using two different blues, an aqua blue and a deep navy blue. And the two blues together with the addition of water just blend together beautifully. This is really going to show off the painting really, really nicely. I have to work kind of quickly at times because if I let the dyes dry on the silk, they'll create their own lines. And sometimes I can use that to my advantage, like in the mane, but in the background, I kind of need to push through to make sure that those lines don't form. So the background looks uniform, even though it has mixtures of dark and light colors, there's no distinct lines in the background.
And then I'm adding water to the blue side. The blue wet side. I'm not adding water to the white side. If I were to add it to the white side of the lining of the dye, I would stop the dye from spreading.
When I'm adding water to the dye, the placement of the water is critical in how the dye spreads. If I add water to the blue areas, I'll push the blue areas to spread. If I add water in front of the blue area and the white area, it will stop the dye from spreading.
My paper has some blue in it. It's creating these marbly type of lines. I really like the way that that's happening. And here, the basic piece is done. I'm going to go back in, I think, in a little bit and do some more work on the ground maybe and on his mane once this is dried. But this is basically what the piece looks like right now. Let's see if I can get this back far enough so you can see the whole thing. There we go. This is what the piece looks like right now, and I have to wait for it to dry, and then of course I have to steam set it and whatnot. But I will be putting this image on my Fine Art America site, so you can buy prints of this image if you like. Again, this is my horse Spook. His registered name is Red Jet Spook, and he is a paint horse. Paint horses are colored horses, spotted horses, and they have both quarter horse and a bit of thoroughbred, as I understand it. I don't want anyone to get mad at me if I quote anything wrong, but he's mostly quarter horse, which we would consider a cow horse, a stock horse, for rounding up cattle on the range, on the farm. And he's just a beautiful guy with really, really bright blue eyes, very intelligent eyes, and he is 20 years old. He's 20 years old now. So I hope you enjoyed this demo, and I'll come back real briefly and show you what this looks like when it's all dry and I can move it around a little bit better and not have to worry about the dyes moving around on me. Thanks for watching. Hi everyone, I'm back. I wanted to show you what the finished piece looked like now that it's all dried. I want to thank everybody for watching the video today, and if you like the video, please click on the thumbs up button just down below. If you would like to subscribe to the video, you can get notifications about whenever I put a new video online. And if you press the arrow button, you can get more information on me and my business. There are links to my Etsy store where I sell my hand-painted silk originals. There's links to my Fine Art America site where printed items are sold, including coffee cups and face masks and yoga mats and journals, a little bit of everything really. And also a link to my website, and my website contains a gallery of many of the pieces I've done over the years. Really enjoyed having you with me today, and until next time, bye now.